sharing that insight. Now we move on to our next news. US President Donald Trump has said that Ukraine would need Patriot missiles for its defenses after speaking with President Volodymyr Zelenskyy on July 4th. He also voiced frustration over Russian President Vladimir Putin's failure to end the fighting. Trump said that he had a good call with Zelenskyy, repeating that he was very unhappy about his call with Putin due to his refusal to work on a ceasefire. Trump also said that Ukraine was being hit pretty hard and believed that the situation around Ukraine is very complicated. Moreover, Trump addressed the increasing death toll in the conflict. Here's what he said.
Yeah, I'd like to see it happen. I don't want to see 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 soldiers killed every week. And you have other people, but in the most part, so far it's been mostly soldiers, and they're Ukrainian soldiers and they're also Russian soldiers. But it's 5,000 souls, and they're being killed every single week. So it's really higher than that now.
This comes after a decision by Washington to halt some shipments of weapons to Ukraine, which prompted warnings by Kyiv that the move would weaken its ability to defend against Russia's airstrikes and battlefield advances. Later, Germany said it is on talks on buying Patriot air defense systems to bridge the gap. Now we're joined back by Joshua Barnes. Joshua, what more can you tell us about the situation?
Well, yes, Suma, building off what we spoke about a couple of minutes ago, these Patriot missile systems are extremely important. Now, they can stop some of the missiles, the drones, and also ballistic missiles that Russia are firing at Ukraine. Currently, within Ukraine, they have 3 Patriot missile systems, but some experts say that at least 10 are needed for full protection across the board and to protect significant and important Ukrainian infrastructure, energy systems, nuclear plants, weapons manufacturing areas. These are key parts of the Ukrainian war machine and the Ukrainian infrastructure for the people that are living there, which have been impacted. A recent strike that we were reporting on this morning led to blackouts in the Zaporizhia region after Russian missiles targeted the main electricity lines into a nuclear plant in that region of Ukraine. So it really is a case of limiting the impact of these Russian attacks. But the problem is, as I said earlier, the US are running out. They have less than 1,000 munitions now for these Patriot missile systems within their own arsenal, and they're not looking to give more away. A potential option, as you mentioned, Germany have come to the fore and said that potentially they could purchase them off the United States and then give them directly to Ukraine. This immediate influx of money from Germany would also allow the United States to continue producing more. Another thing that has been put on the table, and a potential conversation that might be had that Germany have also spoken about, is Ukraine and the US working together and these Patriot missile systems being built within Ukraine. Boris Pistorius, who is a member of the German government, he is headed to Washington later this month, and that is a conversation that will be had about the possibility of that sort of joint manufacturing where they're happening in Ukraine but with US expertise behind it. Ultimately, it's a situation that's continuing to develop. The strikes on Kyiv, not last night but the night before, completely massive strikes, the biggest that we've seen so far in this more than 3-year conflict on the capital city of Ukraine. Debris is still being collected. The potential impact, if Ukraine had more Patriot missile system, Patriot defense systems to counteract these missiles, would be huge. But I think the conversation is one which is an admission, Donald Trump himself saying that peace is not close. We wait also for potential direct talks. We've had 2 rounds in Istanbul. Prisoner of war exchanges were agreed, but no more concrete move towards peace. Whether it's sanctions, whether it's further US support, or Europe stepping up at a time where the US are withdrawing their support, at the moment it's a status quo in terms of the actual combat and action that we're seeing. As Trump alluded to in that previous clip, thousands and thousands of troops dying each week.
Thank you, Joshua Barnes. Now we move on to our next news. In the latest turn of events, trade